before we get to our next guest, he is one of 4 wide receivers in the last 50 years to have the Triple Crown. Now, he did it in 2005. That means he led the NFL in catches, yards, and touchdowns. So before we get to Steve Smith Sr., can you name the other ones? I'm going to throw out, so there's 4 other guys who have won the Triple Crown of receiving in the last 50 years.
There's 4, including Steve Smith Sr.
Oh, okay. Yep. So I have to name 3.
Correct.
So if I say Randy Moss.
He did not.
If I say Lance Allworth.
Yes, 1966. So that's beyond the scope.
Oh, okay.
The first one that was in our list here is 1990.
Jerry Rice.
Jerry Rice is correct.
Okay, all right. I've heard of him.
The other one was within the past 4 years.
Tyreek Hill.
Cooper Kupp.
Cooper Kupp.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We did mention that.
And then the other one, here's the big hint. This guy would be in the Hall of Fame except for a neck injury.
Sterling Sharp.
Sterling Sharp is correct.
Sterling Sharp. Make way for Steve Smith, Sr., NFL Network analyst. That's pretty good company there, Steve. What do you remember about that 2005 season?
Well, first, good morning. It was a long time ago. I think I had hair back then, so that's one of the biggest things I remember.
But you helped Cam. That was Cam's rookie year, wasn't it?
No, sir. No. Cam was, I think, in middle school at that time.
Okay.
No, this was Jake Delhomme.
Oh, okay. But, you look at that. Why haven't we had more receivers win the Triple Crown?
I mean, it's a tough deal to do, to lead in all the categories. It's very rare. I'm not going to sit here and toot my own horn, but, everything has to align. You got to have the right combination of teams playing the right opponents. Offense got to be flowing, good pass game, good run game. Kind of just structurally, things have to fall in place.
All right, a couple of topics to get to. Tua going on the IR as opposed to concussion protocol. What does that mean to you when you see him go on the IR, so he's gone for at least 4 weeks?
It gives an opportunity where you could take your time and figure out what you need to do, sort out some kind of plan. I also like the fact that on those 4 weeks, it's not like he has to play. So that means he gets to take his time and talk to his doctors. Going through decision-making like this, it's an emotional roller coaster. There are going to be some highs. There are going to be most likely more lows, and a lot of conversations that he needs to have and wrestle with and grieve through and process. And I believe at least gives him the starting point not to be pressured in making any kind of decision tomorrow, because the league is about decisions and doing things sometimes based off perspective, not based off reality, sooner than later.
Yeah, it just concerned me that it was 4 weeks as opposed to week by week. And I don't know if you agree, if you get a concussion, you're more susceptible to getting another concussion.
I think everybody's different. I've played with some guys who've had multiple concussions. I played with guys who, for myself, I've only had 1 concussion in my career. However, it took me about 3 weeks to really just come out of it. It was a pretty bad concussion. It was an accident. I didn't get a concussion tackled. I got a concussion. Actually, I was getting up and someone I didn't know, and someone at the back of my head, I hit their knee. Like, they didn't hit me, I hit them. Obviously, because I don't really have, even though my kids believe it, I don't have eyes behind the back of my head. And I hit it right there in the sweet spot. And they knew something was wrong because I was in the huddle. We said break. And they said everybody broke out of the huddle but me. I was still there. So, everybody's different. So, I played 16 years, 1 concussion. There's guys who've played less than that and had multiple concussions. Everybody's built differently. So to be able to say that we know how everyone handles it and all of these armchair doctors who have their personal opinion, I think, I know we're in this age where everybody's opinion matters. So I'm throwing mine out there, and I think we all should sit back and allow Tua to make his own decision on his career and allow him to deal with what he wants to deal with versus us giving our opinion on something that, unfortunately, let's be honest,
If you
not our circus, not our monkey. So why are we giving our input on something that really we don't have a hand in?
We're talking to Steve Smith, Sr., former NFL Pro Bowl wide receiver, working for the NFL Network. If you were a player on the Carolina Panthers and they made the decision to bench Bryce Young, how would you react?
I mean, you got to roll with the next guy. People don't want to hear that, but that's how it is. If Bryce got hurt, we'll be saying the same thing. Who's the next guy up? Next man up is there. For whatever reason, we feel like that this situation is now all of a sudden that Bryce is done. I'm hearing everybody talk about he should be done, trade him. I think the fact that they sat him down, I think that's a good thing. And the reason why I believe that's a good thing is because this. If you see a young man sitting there and you throw him in the swimming pool and you see he's drowning a little bit, you don't remove him from the swimming pool and throw him in the ocean and say, oh, okay, with the bigger tides, he should be okay because he was drafted first overall. He should be fine. Or, hey, get rid of him. How about do what they're doing is allow him to sit back, evaluate, and then maybe train him and gradually put him back in there when he can also learn the game. He was a great processor in college. That's what got him drafted. That doesn't mean what you did in college, you're going to do that in the NFL because that's the level up. That's called advancing. That's why it's professionals and amateurs or collegiate. I know NIL makes people believe they're professionals, but guess what? There are 80 wide receivers next year that are trying to come out in next year's draft. There were, I believe, 27 wide receivers drafted. I'm no mathematician, but guess what? Not everybody's going to make it.
I'm fine with them benching him. And even using the word benching sounds rough. I think they're just replacing him, putting Andy Dalton in there. And it's hard for him. You get into bad habits, and it feels like he's a little, he wants to make a quick decision. He doesn't let a play kind of unfold. I mean, there's a lot of bad things that can happen. And I think sit him down for a little bit. Maybe he doesn't play for them, but I hope he gets another chance this season.
I agree. I think I don't know if giving him another chance this season only because if Andy Dalton does well and you've brought him in to help him, what if having a successful season or seeing someone else do it? Some people learn differently. Visual aids. Some people learn by example. Some people learn by watching other people do it. So sitting him down and letting him ride out the season and learning, and now he doesn't have the pressure on him. Maybe he'll learn some things. Maybe he'll see the game from a different perspective. And maybe he won't, but I'm pretty sure he will because when you think about it, this is probably the first time he's looked at the game from this position, which is the sideline with no injury. That's not a bad thing. Adversity is about dealing with some things that you don't see, and that's what makes football players, athletes, so much. We're intriguing because we can take a negative and turn it into a positive. If we're going to bench and say Bryce Young can never recover, does that mean some of these coaches who have been given a head coaching job maybe too early or a position too early in their career, does that mean that they never should get a job? Dan, you know this answer. No, that doesn't happen. So why does it happen with players, but yet we could give a guy a job in the NFL, NBA that's too early, be terrible, god awful, and then a couple of months later he's at another place, worse, and then it takes him 3 or 4 times to realize maybe he's just a coordinator, not a head coach. That's just me.
Would you stick with Justin Fields in Pittsburgh?
Yeah. I don't know why. Yes, I would stick with Justin Fields. He's winning games for you. Why change it because you have a guy that you brought in as a veteran. This isn't about who's the best friend or personality. It's about who can do the best job to help you win.
I want to make sure I got the quote correct, that you said Russell Wilson was kind of like the guy who goes out for cigarettes and never comes back.
I said I said Russell Wilson's game that we known him to be in Seattle.
Yeah.
Went out for cigarettes and has not come back. Was he there in Denver? Was he the Russell Wilson scrambling around and being razzle dazzle in Denver?
Is he still out for cigarettes in Pittsburgh?
Bro, out for cigarettes. Man, he ain't there.
Where did it go? Steve, where did it go?
I don't know. That's why when you go out for cigarettes, get the Newports, bro, they'll never come back. So that's just the whole point.
So you would stick with Justin Fields. All right.
Yeah, definitely. You know that answer.
Yeah, well, sometimes I just got to ask.
I know you do. You're great at that, man.
You got a backdrop here. It looks like you're joining us from heaven.
Yeah, it's pretty dreary here in Carolina. It's raining. So you know what? I want to be sunshine and rainbows and smiles and be happy. Man, I play with this attitude and this persona, man. And sometimes you just gotta wake up and say, you know what? It's good to be alive, bro. There's some people that didn't wake up. There's some people that's going through some worse circumstances. I get to talk about football, a game that I love playing. I get to, I do a little golf sometimes here and there and talk on my podcast, 89. So, look, I'm just hanging out, man, and enjoying life and loving life, bro.
But you played with a chip on your shoulder. Can you get rid of the chip on your shoulder after you're done playing?
Absolutely. You know what it's called? It's called golf. It's called iron out. I sit there and play golf and look at it and I get on the course. I'm feeling good, look fresh, look dapper, and get out there first hole. Man, I'll get a par, may even get a birdie. Second hole, I'm over here looking for my ball out in the woods. What you gonna do? Get mad? You just gotta take it for what it is, man. And so that's what I'm trying to do and enjoying it. I'm 45 years old. Hell, I gotta slow down and enjoy life at some point before life is no more.
Yes. Yeah, we all do. We tell ourselves that, but that doesn't mean we do it.
Yeah, well, you just gotta hang out with me a little bit more and see. You'll see the change. If you don't believe it, yeah, I've heard worse from worse and better people, so I'll be okay.
Yeah, better people than me.
Yeah, like my wife. Yeah, better people than my wife.
Oh, that's fair.
I appreciate that.
That's a veteran move by you. You don't have any more beefs with players. Like, if you see a player, is there still a beef with somebody that you played against?
No, not really. I run into guys all the time.
Well, Terrell Buckley. If you saw Terrell Buckley.
Yeah, I think we're cool. Unless he has a problem with me. I don't have a problem with him.
Wait, didn't you have the Super Bowl moment? Didn't you have they spit on you?
Yeah, but I can't sit around. I can't sit around.
But if you saw him though, Steve, like,
to be honest, Dad, I don't even know where I would see him. He and I would run into each other. But if we did, hey, how you doing? Shake his hand, look a man in the eye, and keep it moving, bro. I don't.
Okay. Just in case, you may see him at a Super Bowl or something.
If that is the case, I don't really have time for that, man.
Well, thanks for joining us as always. And
appreciate you.
Yeah, enjoy your golf game.
I will. I can't today, it's raining.
Yeah, my best to the wife, too, who's better than me.
Should be.
Not always, though.
Oh, always.
Oh, okay. Of course, always.
Day she was born.
Thank you, Steve.
No problem, bro.
That's Steve Smith, Senior NFL Network analyst. Remember the 03 NFC champion Panthers.